want no smoke. Fuck up. Pull up to the show, what you tell? Fuck up. Hit them with the flow, what we tell? Fuck up. They don't want no problem. They don't want no smoke. Fuck up. Pull up to the show, what you tell? Fuck up. Hit them with the flow, what we tell? Fuck up. They don't want no problem. You know my motto is fuck 'em, that's all I gotta say. Scope on the rifle that'll stop you from a mile away. Still getting women drunk off Hennessy and Alizé. Still with them niggas loading hollow tips inside the cake. Still be on that same shit, but I gotta change with multiplying bitches, man. I see me with the same bitch, but you might see me riding 95 North in the black Mitsubishi 195 horse. Power with no sour, couple bottles there, of course. R.I.P. to all my fallen riders in the morgue. Yeah, you know I got the juice, know I got the sauce, and the super fly full of fire in the Porsche. I don't need a molly just to pop her out of drawers. Shorty getting naked cause she know that I'm the ball. Ready for that drama, man, I'm ready for the war. If he talking reckless, he don't really love his jaw. Fuck him to the DA, fuck him to the law. Fuck them cause they got my brother stuck behind them bars. Fuck them to the PD, fuck them to the force. Fuck them to the haters, just without the intercourse. They don't want no smoke. Fuck them. Pull up to the show, what you tell? Fuck them. Hit them with the flow, what we tell? Fuck them. They don't want no problem. They don't want no smoke. Fuck them. Pull up to the show, what you tell? Fuck them. Hit them with the flow, what we tell? Fuck them. They don't want no problem. We got tons of guns, don't make us use it. Doing something stupid, resulting in being toothless. Getting broad topless in the whip like it's ruthless. Like my girl's chocolate with the chin, so she useless. Always been the nigga that's too big for the Gucci. Long as I got enough from the squeeze in the Thule. Couple extra clips that it seems from your movie. Step up in the club, ready, smelling like a rory. Then I mix the frankincense, keep the aroma. Rebrew fresh to death, you in a coma. Shit, you used to play in the game, I'm the owner. Bitches call me, but for you to pick the phone up. Niggas talking childish shit, I'm a grown up. New for a while, I'm sick, we be throwing up. Heat guns on every floor of my house. Yeah, you might make it in, but you ain't making it out. It's kinda like you got a bullseye, take your scalp. It's like you walking through the jungle, but the lions is out. UPK been the niggas, what you lying about? The generals that gave a word and punch you right in your mouth. Never ain't on no smoke. Fuck up. Pull up to the show, what you tell? Fuck up. Hit them with the flow, what we tell? Fuck up. They don't want no problem. They don't want no smoke. Fuck up. Pull up to the show, what you tell? Fuck up. Hit them with the flow, what we tell? Fuck up. They don't want no problem. They don't want no problem. Fuck. They don't want no problem. Fuck. They don't want no problem. They don't want no problem.
Hey, Shalom. We the ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Since 1969, we've been teaching our people who they are according to the Bible, so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians. You are the 12 tribes to the children of Israel, according to the Bible and according to history, archaeology. You understand? And since 1969, we've been teaching our people who your oppressor is. You understand? This man that has had his foot on your neck for the last 400 plus years, you understand? He is your oppressor. You understand? He is Esau, according to the Bible. You understand? We've been teaching you to separate since 1969 from this monster. You understand? You got to separate your mind, separate your ideologies, your philosophies from this kingdom, from this wicked empire. You understand? When Christ came, when Christ was on the scene, one of the things that made Christ so hated above everybody else is because Christ didn't come and establish love and peace on the earth. You understand? When Christ came, he went to the religious leaders. You understand? Christ didn't come to the people that was loving everybody and to the people that was already keeping the law and following him. And Christ wasn't teaching everybody that, oh, well, let's love everybody. Let's all get along. Let's join hand in hand with everybody in the world. You understand? Christ taught to separate. Christ went to the religious leaders. He challenged the religious leaders. You understand? What's wrong with the world today? The religious leaders are not being challenged. You understand? Our people are listening to everything that our religious leaders are telling us to do. You understand? Give me one quick second, Israel. You understand? If anybody have any questions, you can go ahead and drop your questions down in the chat room. You understand? We're going to open this up with John chapter 8, verse 32. You understand? One thing that everybody need to understand, the ISUPK, you understand? Yeah, we are a Hebrew Israelite group. We are the only Hebrew Israelite group. You understand? And we are not affiliated with any other so-called group out there. You understand? We teach the truth, unadulterated, according to the scripture as it is written. You understand? John chapter 8, verse 32. It's one of my favorite scriptures. It says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You understand? The Lord said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You understand? It's one thing to be able to hear what people are saying and to be able to listen to how people are telling you and make your decision not knowing what's really going on. You understand? And it's one thing to be able to make a swift decision off of smooth words. You understand? But the Lord said the truth shall make you free. You got to eat the whole roll. The truth is bittersweet. You understand? But once you obey the truth and once you understand that this is the best thing for you, you understand? Then at that point, you will begin to see how much the truth, it hurt, but it's good for your people. You understand? Let's get Exodus chapter 23. And the title of this class is Voting. Voting is a sin. You understand? Voting is a sin. You understand? And it's for the weak. You understand? So if you want to Salakia, give me one more quick second, Israel. If you want to title this class for everybody that's out there taking notes, the title of this class is Voting is a Sin and it's for the Weak. You understand? One thing that our people have to learn above everything, you understand that voting will not fix the problems that's going on in the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American community. You understand? We've been trying this voting thing since we've been allowed to vote. You understand? Our oppressors gave us this gift to vote for him. You understand? You can't even vote for yourself. You have to vote for him. You understand? Our oppressors gave us this gift and told us that the only people that we are allowed to vote for is him. We're not allowed to vote for nobody else. You understand? When voting is an actual sin against the Lord. You understand? If you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian, you are not supposed to be voting at all whatsoever. You understand? Voting in this empire has nothing to do with you. You understand? But what we hear all the time is, well, our forefathers fought and they died so we can vote. You understand? Sometimes you have to understand that our forefathers fought and died for something that was vain. You understand? Sometimes we got to understand that our forefathers actually died for something that would not benefit us. You understand? They fought and died to vote, which do not benefit us, because you're constantly setting another king over top of us. You understand? We voted for Obama. What happened during Obama? More so-called Blacks and Hispanics started dropping like flies. You understand? Even more so, started dropping like flies. You understand? So thinking that we're going to just vote for somebody in this empire and everything will change is the craziest thing that so-called Black and Hispanic can do in this society. You understand? It's let's get Exodus chapter 23. You understand? Exodus chapter 23, we're going to get verse 8. It says, and thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise. You understand? Thou shalt take no gift. You understand? A gift blindeth the wise. If our people was really wise, you understand, they would have never marched to vote. They would have never asked for civil rights. You understand? Like our people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, they don't want to be equal. They want the oppressor to treat them civil. You understand? Just don't treat them like an animal. Just be civil with them. You understand? And then what happens? Our oppressor gives the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians the freedom to vote. You understand? You have the freedom to vote for whoever you want to vote for. You understand? Now, will your vote matter? Will it count? That's another topic. That's another topic for another day. You understand? That's a whole new can of worms. You understand? Because at the end of the day, this system is going to put in office who they want to put in office. They're going to put in office who will rule the best over so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. You understand? So the best thing to do is to separate yourself. Stop voting, because voting is not going to do anything for you. You understand? A gift destroyeth. You understand? A gift destroyeth the wise. Let's read on. I'm in the middle of verse 8 of Exodus chapter 23. It says, and perverteth the words of the righteous. You understand? A gift will pervert the words of the righteous. You understand? You had men that started out teaching that Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians was the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You understand? Then our oppressor came along and gave them money, gave them gifts. You understand? And those same men turned around and started telling our people that it's good for us to vote. And the best thing for us to do is to vote for a better president. You understand? Like that would fix the plight of the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians here in this filthy, wicked empire. You understand? Let's get Ecclesiastes 7:7. You understand? It's very sickening to accept a gift from our oppressors in this kingdom. You understand? It'll hurt you more than it'll help you, because their gifts always comes at a price. You understand? Their gifts always comes at a price. You go to the Christian church, your Christian pastor tells you to vote. You understand? They even tell you who to vote for. You understand? They hint to you who they voting for, and basically in a nutshell telling you to vote for the same people. You understand? When in reality, the Lord said not to set a king of another nation above you, but a gift destroyeth the heart. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. You understand? This oppression that you go through, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, should make you very, very angry. You understand? There is something that you can do about it. You understand? You can join the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana and learn how to not only fix yourself, but fix your people. You understand? That's when oppression maketh a wise man mad. You understand? When a wise man get mad, you understand, they don't go out marching on the streets screaming, hands up, don't shoot. You understand? When a wise man that's oppressed to get mad, he don't go out and say, let's vote for another president, even though we've been doing this every 4 years since we've been allowed to vote. You understand? When a wise man gets mad, he goes back and he starts to rethink things. You understand? He starts to plot things out. You understand? A wise man of the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indians, you'll see the oppression that you and your people are constantly going through. And you will get in this ISUPK one body and you will fix your people. You understand? Let's read on. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. You understand? A gift destroys the heart, man. A gift will turn somebody like Nick Cannon from saying that the so-called blacks and Hispanics are the real true Jews or the real Semitic people according to the Bible and according to history. You understand? And will turn around. You understand? Just because that gift that was given to him is taken away, he'll turn around and he'll come back and say that he apologized, you understand, for reclaiming his identity. That's all he did. He reclaimed who he was, and he started to give his people their identity again. You understand? But a gift destroys the heart. You understand? When you're making that kind of money, and you're on some of the most viewed television shows, you understand, when it's being stripped away from you, you understand, that gift that was taken away from you, that you're making all this money off of, even if you're already rich, you're going to want that gift back. So what is Nick Cannon doing now? You understand? He's in the Jewish synagogues. He's talking to different rabbis, so-called fake Jewish men. Even though in Revelations, you understand, chapter 2 and in chapter 3, 2 and 9 and 3 and 9, it says that those people who claim to be Jews are the synagogue of Satan. You understand? Even though these same people know that they are not Jews, you understand, a gift destroys the heart. You understand? What happened with these Christian pastors? They get promises from your oppressor. They don't have to pay taxes on nothing that they give, nothing that they buy. You understand? They can go to the store, pull out their Christian church card, and won't have to pay taxes on none of it. You understand? The government will help them and teach them how to make more money in their churches to bring it into their pockets. So what do they do in return? When it comes time for election year, when it's time to be elect the president, they tell you that the only way you can fix the situation and the plight of the so-called blacks and Hispanics here in this filthy, wicked empire is by going to the voting polls and waiting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in line and voting. You understand? Just so you can leave that voting poll with an I voted sticker, maybe an I voted shirt. You understand? And then the next day, be depressed because you're voting thinking things are going to change. And then the next day, you realize another brother got shot down by another unarmed brother, got gunned down by the police or by another wicked devil. You understand? A gift destroyeth the heart. This is why the Christian church is a den of thieves, and they are liars. You understand? They are robbers and liars, and they hate the Lord. You understand? And they hate Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. The Christian church is white supremacy. You understand? Let's get let's go back to Exodus chapter 23. Let's get verse 7. Exodus chapter 23 and 7. It reads, keep thee far from a false matter. You understand? The Lord said, keep thee far from a false matter. You understand? What is a false matter? A false matter is anything that don't pertain or anything that's not going to benefit you in the long run or the short run. You understand? Voting is a false matter for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians because it won't benefit you at all. It hasn't, nor will it. You understand? After you vote, they're still going to put their foot on your neck. It's a false matter. You understand? This is something Commanding General Yohana bring out all the time. You understand? We always vote for everybody else and put other kings over top of us. And it's high time that so-called Blacks, Hispanics wake up to who they are. You understand? And stop serving this monster. You understand? Come back to your king. Come back to the nigger God. You understand? The God that rules heaven and earth. You understand? Come back to your power. Yahweh is his name in the Hebrew. Come back to him. You understand? Let's read on. It says, and the innocent and the righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. You understand? The Lord said he's not going to justify the wicked. It's a wicked thing for Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians to stand in line at those voting polls and cast your vote for another oppressor to be over top of your people so they can keep putting their foot on our necks. It is a filthy, wicked thing to do. You understand? And the Lord is not going to justify the wicked. You understand? Let's get John chapter 19. John chapter 19. We get verse 15. John 19 and 15. But they cried, and it reads, but they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, shall I crucify your king? The chief priest answered, watch this. Here's what our people gotta understand. You understand? Everybody's not going to want to follow our King Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You understand? Everybody's not going to want to obey the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? Because they have their king. Their king right now is Donald Trump. You understand? Our people in so-called Americas, their king right now is Donald Trump. And this is the same thing that's been going on since the days of Christ. You understand? Watch this. This is verse 15. This is what the chief priest said to Caesar. This is the bottom of verse 15 of John chapter 19. It says, we have no king but Caesar. This is what your Christian pastors say. You understand? They go around, they'll lie to you and tell you that Christ is their king when they'll turn around and vote. And then they'll turn around and tell you to go vote. You understand? And when you go and vote, you're telling the Most High you have no king except for the king that's over top of you. You're telling the Most High that you want these people to keep their foot on your neck. You understand? When you go out and you do something that the Lord specifically told you not to do, you're telling the Lord that you like the judgment that comes on you. You understand? That's what this Christian church say. They don't have no king. Christ ain't they king. You understand? Let's get Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. And for those of you that don't know what an Apocrypha is, this is the 14 missing books that the Roman Catholic Church took out of the Bible. You understand? And they did it for a specific reason, because these records contain very powerful information. You understand? If you don't have an Apocrypha, then I would advise you to get one. It would be very wise. Let's get Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 34. You're going to read verse 1 through 4. It says, the hope of man void of understanding are vain and false. You understand? The hope of a man void of understanding, Salakia, is vain and false. You understand? A man void of understanding is going to hope for things that does not benefit him. You understand? I remember Barack Obama was running for president. Every so-called black person was and Hispanic, you understand, was casting their vote to Barack Obama. And they was telling everybody else, the rest of their people, you understand, that we're going to make change by voting for Barack Obama. That is a man void of understanding. You understand? Because Obama didn't fix nothing. Things got worse with Obama in office. A man void of understanding, you understand, his hopes are vain and false. Now, the same people that voted for Obama are wishing that they never did. You understand? And dreams lift up fools. You understand? Dreams lift up fools. What kind of dreams lift up fools? You understand? I have a dream that one day, you understand, little white boys and little black girls will join hands and sing that old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at. Those are dreams that lift up fools, man. That's not of the Lord. The Lord said, if a prophet come and say, I have dream, believe them not. You understand? The Lord wasn't with Martin Luther King. If you having dreams out there that's telling, that's telling, and you come back and you start telling your people that you had a dream of a hell underground, or you went to this heaven in the sky and you walked through the pearly gates, you understand? Or you have a dream and you see everybody joining hand in hand with every other nation, and you see the Lord smiling. Those dreams lift up fools, man. You understand? If you have a dream like that, know that it is a demon, because it is against the Lord. You understand? Let's drop this. Let's go back and let's get Proverbs chapter 8. Proverbs chapter 8. You understand? This is why it's so important to make sure you understand what the Lord told you to do, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, and not just understand what the Lord told you to do, but actually do it, man. It's one thing to understand, it's another thing to do it. You understand? Proverbs chapter 8, verse 10. It says, receive my instruction and not silver. You understand? The Lord said, receive his instruction. Receive these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? And not money. You understand? Don't be a chaser after money. There's nothing wrong with chasing with going and getting money. But if all you do is you chase money and you reject the laws of the Most High, you understand, then you are a fool. You understand? The Lord said to receive instruction and not silver. Let's read on. And knowledge rather than choice gold. You understand? Receive knowledge. You understand? Rather than receiving choice gold. You understand? You want knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. You understand? You don't want to receive things that's not going to benefit you in the kingdom. The Lord, Christ said that it is easier for a camel to enter into the kingdom of heaven than for a rich man to enter into through the eye of a needle. Salakia, he said it's easier for a camel to enter into the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Think about that. It's easier for a beast to go through the point of a needle. That little thing that prick your skin and that can draw out a lot of blood. It's easier for a beast to go through that than it is for a rich man to get into the kingdom. Why? Because that rich man is not choosing understanding. That rich man is not choosing knowledge. You understand? He's choosing the wealth of this empire. His oppressor is giving him gifts, and he's choosing those gifts. You understand? Let's drop that. Let's get Proverbs 8 and 10. Okay, yeah. Let's drop that. Let's get Psalms 55. You understand? And it's important. You understand that it's very important that our people don't just listen to our oppressor. You understand? You so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian. You understand? Don't listen to your oppressor, man. You understand? His smooth words. You understand? His buttery words and his the beautiful things that sound so good coming out of his mouth. You understand? Joe Biden. You understand? He's out screaming Black Lives Matter. You understand? And he's giving out smooth words, telling you different things that he's going to do to fix what's going on. You understand? And what he's doing is he's releasing smooth words so that you can be enchanted by what he's saying. You'll forget about the things that's happening to you. You understand? The Lord said a kingdom divided against itself won't stand. You understand? But in the process of this kingdom being divided against itself, you understand these two different parties are given smooth words so that the vote of the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian can go to them. You understand? Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Let's see. This is Mark chapter 3, verse 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that's what America is. You understand? It's a kingdom that's divided against itself. One half of it is Republican, the other half is Democrats. Every 4 years, they argue and they fight and they try to get each other thrown away and they pull out all of each other's dirty laundry. You understand? Just to be the ruler for the next 4 years. You understand? That's a kingdom divided against itself. The Lord said that kingdom cannot stand. You understand? And what they do is while they're being divided and while they're so against each other, they are buttering you up to vote, to get your vote. You understand? All they want to do is get your vote. They don't care about your life. They want your vote. You understand? Let's get Psalms chapter 55, start at verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. You understand? That's what these so-called oppressors have done, man. They have put forth their hands against such that be at peace with them. You understand? They put forth their hands against who the first people that did it was the Native American Indians. You understand? The Native Americans welcomed the so-called oppressors here with open arms. You understand? The Native Americans, they welcomed these oppressors with open arms. You understand? And what they did is they did crazy things to help the so-called oppressors. And then what did the so-called oppressor do? If you don't know who the so-called oppressor is, go look at the man that's gunning down the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians in the middle of the street in cold blood, and then going out marching saying all lives matter and blue lives matter. These are your oppressors. You understand? And the Lord said they put forth their hands against such that be at peace with them. You understand? When the Native American Indians welcomed them with open arms, they gave them smallpox. The oppressors destroyed the Native American Indians. They not just that, but multiple diseases was given to the Native American Indians. You understand? These oppressors put forth their hands against everybody that be at peace with them. You understand? Let's read on. It's Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. It says, he hath broken his covenant. You understand? This monster signed over 600 peace treaties with the North American Indians and broke every one of them. That's why the North American Indians call this beast pale face that speaketh with forked tongue. You understand? He's done atrocious things to everyone that has tried to be at peace with him. You understand? He broke every covenant. What was a covenant that he made to the so-called Negroes in America? Oh, once you get free, I'm gonna give you every slave that's free will get 40 acres and a mule. Name me one slave that was granted 40 acres and a mule when they got free. That was a covenant that was broken, man. The Lord said that these people are estranged from the womb. They come about speaking lies as soon as they're born, man. These people cannot tell the truth. They have no capacity to love. You understand? Let's read on. It says verse 21 says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. You understand? The words that's in your oppressor's mouth is very smooth. You understand? He gonna tell you things like if you vote for me, you understand, I'm gonna give you better paying jobs all across this country. You understand? I'm going to end black on black crimes if you vote for me. He's not telling you how he's gonna end it. He's saying things that sounds good. It sounds good not to have your brothers killing each other. He's not telling you that he's going to kill them so that they can't kill each other. He's not telling you that he's going to slaughter them and spill their blood. He's just giving you smooth vain words so you can cast your vote to him. That's how this monster is, man. That's how this evil beast is. You understand? Let's read on. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. You understand? This oppressor, the only thing that he is capable of is war. You understand? Every land that he had he conquered through bloodshed. You understand? And everybody on the face of the earth knows the only one nation that is everywhere on the face of the earth that has got there through bloodshed, through conquering. You understand? Shalakia. This is what's in his heart. And he had this placed on him. You understand? This was a gift, a blessing given to him by his father. He said, Isaac told Esau that the land that he was going to get was going to be by the sword. He was going to conquer with the sword. You understand? All this nation knows is war. That's it. He'll talk smooth to you, but then he'll turn around after he gets you to vote for him. He's going to do something completely different. He's going to do what's really in his heart. Because the whole time, he didn't really give a damn about you. You understand? He just wanted you to help get him into the office seat so that he can do what he really planned to do with you. And that's destroy you, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, even more. You understand? Let's read on. It says his words were softer than oil. You understand? You feel you take the dipstick out of a car. You understand? And you feel that oil that's on that dipstick. That oil is very slick. You understand? This oppressor's words is very, very soft and slick. And he know how to twist and manipulate things around to make you believe the things that he's saying. You understand? Let's read on. It says they were yet drawn swords. You understand? All this man wants to do is war. All he wants to do is kill. You understand? That's all he's capable of doing. This is why the Lord said to put a king, that he has to choose the king. And the person that's king over the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are one from among your brethren. They don't, it's not you. You can't choose a king of another nation, man, and think that you're going to fix the plight of Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians by putting someone that's of another nation who don't care about Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians over top of you. It don't work like that. Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, and it reads, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. You understand? So here's the first qualification. The Most High has to choose this king. You understand? We can't go out and pick our own king. The Lord has to choose this king. That's qualification number one. You understand? Let's read on. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. You understand? That's qualification number two. You understand? You have to, and here's the thing, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. You are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, man. And if you could only understand that and come back to this, come back to the laws of the Most High, you understand? And separate your mind from this filthy, wicked empire. Separate your ideology from this place. You understand? And here's a good place that you can start. A good place that you can start is by not voting. You understand? Don't go cast your vote to another oppressor. You understand that don't fit the bill. You understand? He's not one from among your brethren, and he's not one whom the Lord chose to be king over you. You understand? And for the so-called Christian pastors out there that says, oh, well, if he got into office, then the Lord did choose him to be king over us. Let's read on. It says, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not of thy brother. Why does it say a stranger which is not of thy brother? Because there are strangers that are of your people. A stranger is somebody you don't know. You understand? So you have strangers that are your people, and then you got strangers that are of another nation, whom the Lord said you are not supposed to set king over you. You understand? When King David became king, you understand? I'm sure King David was a stranger to at least one person in Israel when he became king. But you know what? It didn't matter because the Lord chose him as king. You understand? And in that nation that was of Israel, David was their brother. You understand? So David fit the bill of whom the Lord wanted to be king over Israel. You understand? So it's not something that you can't go and vote for somebody who's not of your nation. You understand? Let's get 1 King chapter 8. Here's something that our people can start doing. You understand? So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. 1 Kings chapter 8. First Kings chapter 8, we're going to get verse 53. Verse 53, and it reads, it says, for thou didst separate them from among all the people of the earth. You understand? The first thing that you have to understand is that the Lord separated the children of Israel from everybody else. You understand? The Lord didn't want the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians to be joined with everybody. He separated them from everybody else. You understand? This is of the Lord's doing. You understand? Let's read on. It says, to be thine inheritance. The Lord didn't just separate you from everybody else. He separated the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians because they belong to him. He separated them to be his. You understand? You belong to the Most High. You're his chosen people. He chose you, so-called black, Hispanic, Native American Indian. He didn't choose nobody else. So you can't choose nobody else that's not of your nation. You understand? Let's read on. It says that thou speakest by the hand of Moses thy servant when thou broughtest our fathers out of Egypt, O Yahweh our power. You understand? The Lord chose the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. You understand? It's not something that, oh, well, it's not a good thing for us to be separated from it. It's the best thing for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to do is to separate. You understand? The Lord's already separated us. You understand? It was a filthy, wicked thing for Martin Luther King to do, to join us to our oppressors, man. It was a horrible thing. Let's read. How old is the Hebrew Bible and where can I find that information? Please help. So what you want to do is you want to go get you a King James 1611. You understand? And then if you have a smartphone, one of the things that I like to use is the Blue Letter Bible. And I'll try to show you this real quick. Uh, this is one of the things that I like to use because it's very beneficial. It helps out with the Hebrew, understanding what the meanings of the word actually means. You understand, like John 3:16, when it says, "For God so loved the world," you can go into the Blue Letter Bible and go into interlinear and hit that word "world" and see that it's not talking about everybody on the face of the earth, but it's actually talking about an age, government, or society. You understand? Is that the source King James version? As far as understanding that blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, the King James version is one of the sources. You understand? It's the main source. You understand? But we do have actual history. We do have actual archaeology that actually brings out these claims as well. So let me Blue Letter Bible. So what you can do is you can go in on your screen and type BLB. I'm not sure if you can see that right there. That's the Blue Letter Bible. You understand? So that right there is one of the best tools that can help you out. You can also order a Tanakh. You understand? A Torah and a Tanakh, which is some of them. If you go on Amazon.com, some of them are well, a lot of them are already written in the Hebrew. You understand? So from that point, it'll just be you logging into isupk.com on Friday nights in the Hebrew classes and understanding and learning how to read and write the Hebrew. So whenever you have a Hebrew Bible, it'll be easy for you to understand and read. You understand? Let's get Revelations chapter 18, verse 4. It says, I hear people talking about the trade slaves. What's that information? So the slave trade, I mean, that's common knowledge. That's common knowledge. That's something you understand that's been happening throughout the history of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. From every time the so-called blacks and Hispanics, Native American Indians disobey the Lord, they go into slavery. This is what our people are cursed with. The Lord put us in slavery, and he whoops us like a good father whoops his children. And once we come back to him and serve him, the Lord comes back and destroys the nation or the empire that's ruling over top of his people, and he brings us back into our home. You understand? The slave trade, you can find that in the Bible. You can find that in Deuteronomy chapter 28. You understand? Reading from verse 15 down to 68. You understand? You can find out what the so-called black, Hispanic, Native American Indians going through to the T when you read Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 down to verse 68. And then you can Google the slave trade. You had the sub-Saharan slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, different slave trades. You understand? Or you can Google and you can find out that Google how it happened, what actually happened, and then read the Bible, what I just told you in Deuteronomy 28, and you'll see how from the slave trade from that triangular slave trade up until now, what the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are going through to the T is written in these scriptures. You understand? Why all the people are from the Americas and nobody sign is from the part of Africa? Because the so-called blacks, the so-called Negroes in America are not Africans. You understand? If you need proof, I can get you proof. The Lord put a difference between the Egyptians or the Africans, and he put it in Israel, the so-called Negroes. You understand? The Negroes in America are Semitic people. The Africans are Hamitic people. You understand? Here's a quick history of the so-called Negroes in America for you. A quick history for you. 70 AD, the so-called Negroes was in Jerusalem. You understand? And they was under a lot of oppression by the same people that's oppressing them now, the same race of people. You understand? The same nation of people that's oppressing the Negroes in America now are the same nation of people that was oppressing them while we was in Jerusalem. You understand? So to avoid being slaughtered in Jerusalem, our people left Jerusalem and fled into Africa. You understand? And we fled all the way down to the west coast of Africa, where the we lodged there for years on our ideology. You understand? From this place. You understand? Revelations chapter 18, verse 4. It says, and I heard another voice come out of heaven, saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. You understand? The Lord said to come out of her. You understand? Does that mean get on a ship and just leave? You understand? And go to another? No, that don't mean just pack up and go. That means separate your mind, your ideology from this place. You understand? You can create the kingdom of heaven within yourself right here. You understand? And how do you do that? You learn to love your people again. Stop giving our oppressors all your love. You understand? And learn to love your people. Learn to love Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. You understand? That's what we can do as a nation that will benefit us more than voting. You understand? You want to vote for somebody, you vote for Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. You vote for Christ, our King. You understand? Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You vote for him. You understand? You vote for the nigger God, the God that reigns and rules over Blacks, Hispanics, who chose Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to be his and his alone. You vote for him. You understand? Let's read on. It says that ye be not partakers of her sins. You understand? Come out, separate your mind from this place so you're not partakers of the judgment that's going to come to this place when it comes. You understand? And it says, and that ye receive not of her plagues. You understand? You separate yourself and the Lord will keep you from the plagues that's going to hit. You understand? The ISUPK been telling you that pandemics was going to come. You understand? And what happened? Pandemic started coming. Plague started coming. You understand? And guess what? It's only going to get worse. It's going to get worse. More is coming. But one thing that we can do as so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians is separate ourselves. So when it do come, you understand the Lord can stay us from the plague. You understand? Let's get for 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. It says, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate. You understand? You got to come out from among this filthy empire and be separate. You understand? Stop spending all your time loving this empire. You understand? Being so quick to forgive this people for the atrocious acts of war that they're committing against so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. Salaki, you have to be separate. Learn to love your people. Salaki, learn to love your people again. You understand? Give your time, your energy into your people and separate yourself from America and the ways of America. You understand? It says, be ye separate, said the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. You understand? Stop touching things that are unclean. Understand that the Lord gave you a dietary law. You understand? And told you who to marry, who not to marry. You understand? This is not touching things that are unclean. You understand? Every other nation that is not so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian is unclean. You understand? And the Lord said, don't touch them. Don't give them your love. They don't deserve it. You understand? You want to know what will fix the so-called plight of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians? You understand? You know what will fix our problem? I'm about to give it to you right now. Nehemiah chapter 9. Here's what's going to fix the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indians. Nehemiah chapter 9. Voting's not going to fix it. You can go cast your vote every 4 years, and it's not going to change a thing. But here's what will. It's Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 2. And it reads, and the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers. You understand? You got to first learn to separate yourself from everybody else that is not of your people. You understand? If you got to work with them, you go work with them. You understand? And after you done working with them, you come back to your people. You understand? Separate yourself. You understand? From everybody else. You understand? You see so-called Africans setting up their African shop in the middle of the hood. You see China setting up Chinatown in the middle of the hood. You understand? Separate yourself from them. Stop spending your time into their stores. Stop hanging out with those filthy people, man. You get back to your people, so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, Native American Indians. You understand? You separate yourself from everybody else. Let's read on. And stood and confessed their sins. You understand? After you separate yourself from every other nation, you got to turn to the Most High and you got to confess your sins. You understand? You can't just, you understand, keep walking the same road and voting every 4 years for a new president and expecting things to change. You understand? You got to turn back to the Lord, separate yourself from everybody else and confess your sins. You understand? It says, and the iniquity of their fathers. You understand? You got to separate yourself, confess your sins and confess the iniquities of your father, man. Stop giving your time and your energy to these people, man. Separate yourself and give your energy back to what it belongs and to who it belongs to. You understand? Let's get 2 Chronicles 7:14. It says, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves. Who are these people who are called by the name of the Lord? You understand? That's so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. You understand? You was called by his name. You understand? Literally, you had the Most High's name in your name. You understand? And your name meant something. You understand? They still have records of the names of the slaves. You understand? Here in America, they have the records. They have them. They know the names of the slaves. They know that the slaves had Hebrew names. You understand? The Lord said, if my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves, stop being proudful, stop chasing after other religions that don't have a goddamn thing to do with you. You understand? Stop worrying about the Christian church. You understand? Stop chasing after Muslims. You understand? Stop going after those filthy African Kemet gods, man. Leave these gods, these filthy, wicked pagan gods to the people they belong to. And you come back and you humble yourself and you serve your power again, man. It says, and humble themselves and pray and seek my face. You got to pray and seek the face of the Most High. You understand? Turn from your wicked ways, man. It says, then I will hear from heaven. You understand? After you do that, the Lord will hear you again. You understand? He's going to incline his ear and he's going to hear you again. You understand? How did the children of Israel get out of Egypt? What did the Lord tell Moses? He said, the cry of my people came he said, I heard the cry of my people. You understand? The Lord will hear you if you repent and you come back to him. Turn from your wicked ways, man. Start serving the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai again, man. Serve the Lord again. It says, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their land. You understand? The Lord will forgive you and he'll come save you out of this place, man. And he'll put you back into the rightful place of where you belong. And you so-called Black, Hispanics, Native American Indians, you won't be on the bottom no more. You'll be on the top as promised, but you have to turn to him. You have to love him. You understand? You have to get out of yourself and you have to learn to love him again. You got to ask the Lord to forgive. You got to confess your sins and separate from everybody else. You understand? And the quickest way you can start doing that is by not casting your vote. You understand? Stop voting in this filthy, wicked empire. You understand? And with that, we are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Let's get these security announcements. Give me one quick second. Security announcements. Salakia. Let me see. Salakia, Israel. Give me one quick second and get these security announcements or rock it out. Get these prayers going. ISUPK security announcements. Rule for new brothers and sisters. If a new brother or sister wants, if a new brother or sister has a particular interest in a brother or sister, Salakia, when a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. You understand? They are here to rid themselves of the world. You understand? If a new brother or sister has a particular interest in a brother or sister, they are to Salakia. If a brother or sister have a particular interest in a particular brother or sister, they are to go to the camp leader. You understand? And I can't find the security announcements. I'm just going based off of memory. So when a new brother joins the school, they're off limits. You understand? If they have a brother or sister, if they have a particular interest in a particular brother or sister, you understand they are to get permission to speak to that brother or sister. You understand? There's a 6-month period in which the brother and sister will court each other. You understand? After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the school to marry. You understand? Tithes, which is a commandment. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. You understand? A tenth in the Hebrew. You understand? Which means ma'ashara. You understand? Give a tenth of every penny that you have. You understand? To the priest or to the treasury department. What you want to do is you want to go to isupk.com. Pay your tithes. You understand? Unlike the Christian church, the people that's taking your tithes money, we are taking that money and we are fixing our people. You understand? We are having clothes drives, food drives. You understand? We are doing what the Lord told us to do with the tithes. You understand? So go to the isupk.com. Send in your tithes. You understand? If anyone wants to be, upcoming Holy Convocation, the Passover is still to be announced. Stay connected to your camp leaders. You understand? Who's over your zone. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, there's to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we'll say Amajim. We're going to get into the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, and in the English, we'll do a couple of these prayers and we'll rock it out and get out of here. So we'll say Amajim Wapan Hakwadam, which means turn and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabashamayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwithka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Baharatiza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawabath, Kawabath Wanawa, Kawabath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawabath Yanawa, Walaa, Tabaya Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abol, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwith, Walaa, Wathaparth, Lawalamim Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. That is the prayer for the Hakat, or the power in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Salakia, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashah, Babakusha, Nathan Lanawa, Hakat, La Pa'ar, Kal Makalah, Wakal Marawah, Hakat, La Tahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakat, La Hakwayim, Hamathiam, Hakat, Al Rakawath, Hatamala, Lagarashan, Ba'ashem Yahawashah, Thawara Aman. The prayer for the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Is the prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shah, wa miyaka Allah, mataza biyah, alawap yahana, ha alawapyam, ha saranyam, ha kwatazayanyam, ha kayayanyam, wa ha kwathyam, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, the water amen. Is the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. This is the prayer for the anointing prayer. Yebaraka Yahweh, Waya Shamaraka, Ya'ar Yahweh, Pan Yahweh, Al Yaka, Waya Kanka, Yashar Yahweh, Pan Yahweh, Al Yaka, Waya Shemlaka, Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Barak, Rapah, Magun, Hagun, all destroyed of Israel. Bahashem Yahweh Shah, the water amen. In the English, is what we said in English. Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, bless, heal, shield, and protect the names of the loved ones we just named. Saul, in his turn, will give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Barakathum, Yazamatah. Give one courtesy salute to the sisters that may be watching online. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Lathan Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Yazamatah. Class dismissed.
Lord said, confession comes from the soul. So right now, all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that